Hi everyone, I'm Kat and welcome to my channel, Naturally Beautiful Girl. So today I am bringing you a brand overview of Jane Iredale, and I'm really excited to be bringing this to you because Jane Iredale I feel like is a brand in the non-toxic beauty space. It's been around for quite a while. Honestly, it was one of the first brands that I'd encountered. For some reason, I never really tried out a lot of their products, and when I saw that they had released a new foundation, it got me kind of intrigued about the brand, and so I decided to try out a number of products from Jane Iredale. I'm reviewing a very small subset of the products in the line because there are a lot of products. I just picked out some products that were most interesting to me and I thought that you guys would be interested in as well. But I'm definitely open to doing a part 2 of this video and trying out some more in the future. So if you like this, give this video a thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know if you'd like me to do a part 2 in the future. And I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in. The product that really inspired this whole video is this, which is the brand new Jane Iredale Beyond Matte Liquid Foundation. I just had never really been drawn to any of the other Jane Iredale foundations, and so when I saw this one come out, I thought, okay, this is really cool. Let me try this out. I want to try out some other products. So I did. So I have this foundation in the shade M1, which is the lightest shade. It is a pretty good shade match for me. It blends in really well. It doesn't look orange. It doesn't look pink. It works well. It does come in a glass bottle and it does have a pump. This foundation was quite expensive. I believe it was in the $50-ish range, which is quite steep considering it's 0.9 fluid ounces, which means that it's not even an entire fluid ounce. And that's what most foundations are, so this is quite small for the price that you're paying. I do appreciate that it comes in a glass bottle. That's always nice. So with this foundation, what I like to do is I like to dot it on my face and then blend it out with a brush. I'm a big fan of using brushes to apply foundation. That's typically what I end up using. So that's what I did with this foundation, and I find that it works really well. It blends out really smoothly. I don't have to worry about streaks or brush marks. The coverage of this foundation is definitely the medium to light side. It's not that full coverage of a foundation, which was a bit surprising because I expected, especially with being a matte foundation, that the coverage would be a bit higher. So if you're looking for a super full coverage foundation, this one may not be the best for you. As I always say, I have oily, acne-prone skin, and especially when I'm reviewing foundations, I feel it's really important to explain my skin type. I also have porcelain skin, so the fact that the lightest shade of this foundation was a good shade match for me is a good sign, especially if you have fair porcelain skin like I do. This foundation does run light enough. I thought that because this was a more matte foundation, it would work really well on my oily skin. And it sort of does. Prior to applying this foundation for this video and how I've been testing it typically, is I will first go with the moisturizer. Today it was the Osea Atmosphere Protection Cream, and then I went in with my SPF, which that currently is actually, this one I have it here with me. This is the Josh Rosebrook Nutrient Day Cream, SPF 30. So I had two rather creamy products on underneath this, and I have oily skin. But when I put this foundation on, it's pretty matte. It doesn't feel dry or tight, but it definitely looks pretty dry on my skin. This is a foundation that, honestly, I don't like it when I first apply it. When my skin starts producing some oils throughout the day, like a couple hours in, I like how this foundation looks, but on first application, I don't like it. And that's regardless of if I set it with a powder, I don't set it with a powder, it just looks a bit too dry. I thought with it being a Beyond Matte, it would be kind of like a matte that sits really well on your skin. A matte that just looks really good on your skin, but that's not exactly the case. And I think part of the reason why I'm not as enthusiastic about this foundation is I'm trying it out right after trying out the new Vapor Velvet Glow foundation, and I really like that one. And when I compare that one to this one's just not as good. It wears well throughout the day, and once my face starts getting oily, it looks better, but when I first put it on, it's dry. I can see it sitting on my skin. It kind of sinks into my pores. Everyone has pores, but I have some pretty, decently large pores, like right here, like next to my nose, and I can see the foundation sitting in it. I just don't like the finish. And I think too, if I am wearing a more matte foundation, I want the coverage to be a bit higher. I like lighter coverage foundations, but I like lighter coverage foundations that have a little bit of glow. For me, it's a bit disconcerting with it being kind of this like medium to light coverage, but also being matte. Honestly, it's just not my favorite foundation. I just think there are better ones. I should say it is getting cooler in New England, as you can see by my jacket that I'm wearing, and my skin is getting a bit dry. So even though I have oily skin, it can get a little dry, especially as the seasons are changing. And this just, with my skin being a little drier, it just doesn't look good. I think this could be a better foundation for the summertime, and I'm excited to see, when summer rolls back around next year, if I like it better at that point. Now that I'm filming this video, it's probably not going to be a foundation that I reach that often for, and that's coming from someone with oily skin. I think if you have dry skin, you just won't like this foundation. Even if you have oily skin, I don't think you'd like it, because I'm not really enjoying it either. It wears well, it's not breaking apart, it's not doing anything like that. It's just when I first put it on, it doesn't look that good, and then it takes a few hours in the day for it to start looking better. And who wants that? Like, you want to put on your makeup and have it look good, not be like, oh, I need the oils in my face to come out first. That doesn't make any sense. So I should tell you that I was initially planning to try out one of their concealers, but the way that they describe the shades of their concealers is super confusing, and I don't have any stores super close to me that carry Jane Iredale physically, and so I wasn't able to figure out what shade of the concealer that would work best for me, so I didn't try out the concealer. If you guys have used the concealer and can give some advice about the shades, please let me know in the comment section down below. Also, if I'm at a store that carries Jane Iredale in the future, I'm gonna try and figure that out. But as of right now, I don't know what shade of the concealer is best. So I skipped on that one. The next product that I was testing out was their blush. And so I have one of their powder blushes, and I have the shade, I guess it's Dubonett. It's like a dusty kind of pinky brownie shade, which honestly, I discovered I like blushes this shade. Like, I just really like how they look on me. It's not kind of the traditional blush color, but I feel like it just looks good on me. Jane Iredale overall is a very expensive brand. I'm just gonna put that out there. The products are expensive. I think that a lot of them are overpriced. And it's not that they don't perform well. For instance, I really like this blush. I really like how it performs. I think it's really pigmented. It blends out well. It's a good color. Like, I like this blush. It wears well. It doesn't fade too much on me. But the packaging feels super cheap. It looks metal, but it's a plastic packaging, as you can hear. And it feels super lightweight. And here's my thing, is if I'm paying the price that I paid for this blush, which I don't remember exactly how much it was, I'll put it up here. I want the packaging to feel nice. Either the price needs to come down or the packaging quality needs to go up. There's so many brands out there that have products with really nice packaging or in even lower price points. There just feels like a disconnect between the price and the packaging. So I will say that I'm not a fan of most of the packaging. Same thing with the Eyeshadow Trio that I'll be talking about in a minute. Just the packaging doesn't feel that nice. I've got this shade on my cheeks today. I really like it. Like, this has been a blush that I keep reaching for. I will say though, the powdered products from Jane Iredale are not super firmly pressed. When I dip my brush into this blush, a lot of product comes off. There's a lot of kick up. I prefer products that I don't have to dig my brush in to get pigment. I like these ones that are pressed a little bit lighter. It just means that you need to be careful when you're dipping your brush into them. And also, if you're traveling, you just need to be a little careful because things that are pressed more lightly, I have found to be a bit more fragile when I'm traveling. This is definitely a blush that I will continue to use. I've got swatch here. And that was just like one swipe, by the way. I didn't show it on camera for some reason, but that was one swipe. So it's just a nice blush. I'm a cream blush fan. That's what I typically go for. but I really like this. Like, it's good. I'm definitely enjoying using it and I'm quite impressed. The next product I am going to be talking about is this brow gel. So this is the Pure Brow Gel, and I have the shade Brunette because I am a brunette. So it's interesting because I've heard Reagan and Caroline both talk about the clear brow gel, which is actually what kind of alerted me when I was, buying some of these products. I was like, oh yeah, I remember them talking about that brow gel. And I saw in Reagan's recent video where she talked about products that she liked that other people don't. She likes the clear brow gel and Caroline doesn't. I don't have the clear one. I have the tinted brunette version. And I'm gonna stick with Reagan on this one. I really like this. Like, this has actually become my favorite brow gel. So here's why I like it. I think the color, first off, is pretty good. It's not too dark, it's not too red, it's a good color. Also, what I really like about this is the level of pigment. Like, it deposits a nice amount of pigment in my brows, so it really does fill them in. I don't need to use a pencil with this. I can get away with just using this product. The other thing I really like about this brow gel is it does an excellent job of defining my individual brow hairs, especially in the front. I can really get my brow hairs defined. I can get them kind of brushed and styled into place, and this brow gel holds things. It is impressive. This brow gel just locks your brow hairs in place. I'm honestly very, very impressed by it. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I do, but this has become like a staple. I've traveled with it. I've been entirely happy. The only con I have with this product is the brush. So what you'll notice is the brush is quite large. Most of the brow gels I've used are much shorter, so they're about that long. They're like part of the spoolie. The problem with having such a big spoolie is I find it hard to not accidentally get product all over the place. The more I've used this product, the better I've gotten at controlling it, just because I've gotten used to the size. But if the spoolie was like just like half the size of what it currently is in terms of length, it would just be much easier to use, because often I do end up having to clean around my brows a little bit to clean up stray product. It would just be better with a shorter spoolie, but I really like it enough so that I would totally repurchase this again in the future. I love it. You guys know I love the Eco Brow Pencil and Brow Gel. If I want a little bit more precision and a little bit more control, I go for that pair. But if I just want to like and just like comb through my brows, deposit a little bit of pigment and run out the door, this is my go-to. Like, I don't know why I didn't try this thing before, but it is really, really good. If you want to try one thing from the brand, this would be very high on my list of things I would recommend. The next product I decided to try out was one of their eyeshadow trios. They have some palettes. I remember Ashley from Makeup TIA, who now is Ashley Elise on YouTube, and Mercedes from L'Amour La Musique, both talking about the Jane Iredale, I think it's like the Day to Night palette or something like that, and really liking it. And I remember back in the day being like, oh, that's cool, but it's so expensive. I'm not gonna buy it. Which is silly, because I've now bought eyeshadows that cost way more than that palette. I decided to go with this trio, and I have the trio in triple cognac. And the reason I went with this one is because I've been traveling a lot with work, and I wanted an eyeshadow, like small eyeshadow trio or palette or something that I could travel with for work that was very neutral. And yeah, it was small. So the nice thing about this is it is really compact. It reminds me of the Fit Glow eyeshadow trios a lot in terms of formula, in terms of performance. Like, those were really good. And these are also really good. They're soft, kind of like the Fit Glow eyeshadow trios, but it's a really good product. I now totally understand why Ashley and Mercedes used to talk about those eyeshadows and really like them, because they're really good. I've got the 3 shade swatch here. The metallic shade here, I mean, you can see it a bit, but it's very close to my skin tone, so it's catching the light a little bit. These 2 shades here are they're quite pigmented, and the mattes are easy to blend. The metallic shade shows up really well. Like, I really like how it looks on my lids. I did, of course, use the Alima Pure Eye Primer prior to applying this. I use that eye primer every time I use powdered eyeshadows. It's my go-to eye primer. It intensifies the eyeshadows and also helps them to stay in place, because I have oily hooded eyelids, which is like death to eyeshadow, but that eye primer really does help. And honestly, I just really like this. Like, I traveled with this. It serves exactly the purpose I hoped it would. With this eyeshadow trio, you're not going to get a wide variety of eye looks out of it. You're kind of going to develop a couple that you like. Those will be the ones you stick to. Like, there's several varieties of the eyeshadow trios, but if you want like a really good, just neutral eyeshadow trio, you know, you just want a couple shades that are really good that you can throw on really quickly and just get a really good, easy look, I really have to recommend this. Like, if you are like me and in the morning you're trying to rush out the door and get to work and just throw your makeup on really quickly, like, this is perfect for that. Or if you're traveling around a lot like I am and want something small that's easy to travel with, this is also perfect. I was not expecting to like this eyeshadow trio so much, but I am completely in love. The next product I decided to try out is this one. This is their Pure Lash Lash Extender and Conditioner. So basically it's an eyelash primer. So what you do is you put this on and it is white. You put it on like a mascara, but it's white. So yeah, you can see it here. It's got a regular wand. It's the pipe cleaner type of wand. And what you can see is it does turn your eyelashes white, but it definitely adds length to them. So it's basically kind of like a fiber-ish product. The reason I decided to try this out is, you guys know I love the Honest Beauty mascara and it's got that fiber end on it, and I was hoping that this would be similar, and it totally, totally is. If you want that look, but for some reason don't want to use that one, this is a good option. That other mascara is much cheaper. The reason I thought this one was nice is that it's supposed to also condition your lashes as well and be good for them. Does it do that? I have no idea. I can't tell a difference of whether it's made my lashes grow better or be longer on their own naturally. I have no idea. But if you put this on and then put mascara on, it definitely lengthens your lashes a lot. So it is pretty cool. I really like it. It works well. Totally a fan of these kind of lengthening eyelash primer products, especially if you want that really long eyelash look. The mascara I got from Jane Iredale is this one, which is the Longest Lash Mascara. And this one has a pipe cleaner one, but it's a bit kind of a, I guess like a funnel shape is how I would describe it. I really like this mascara with and without the lash primer. With the lash primer, it's definitely more of a lengthening mascara. Without the lash primer, it lengthens and volumizes. For some reason, when I add the lash primer, it's less volumizing. I don't know why that is, but this is another mascara that is just really good. I've been in this patch of mascaras recently that are all just really good, and this is another great example. It doesn't flake, it doesn't smudge, it just stays in place. The formula is definitely a little bit drier, but we all know I like a drier mascara formula. I find that gives better volume. I just find it easier to work with. It does more for your lashes. And there's several different varieties of mascara from Jane Iredale. I picked this one honestly because it had really good reviews, and I totally understand why. It's good. I really like how my eyelashes look when I use it. I have no complaints. It's just good. And then the final product you guys have heard me talk about a bit before, which is the Jane Iredale Lip Balm. Well, I don't know why I said Jane Iredale. We already knew it was Jane Iredale. This is the Lip Drink Lip Balm, and I have the shade Crush, which is this kind of light purpley pinky color. And to be honest, I like it, but I'm not the biggest fan. It feels nice on, but compared to something like the Cary Grant Lip Whips, which you guys know I love to death, it just doesn't feel as nice. And if I'm going through the effort of putting on a lip balm, I want it to feel really nice and moisturizing and hydrating on my lips. It feels good, but not as good as those. And this has the advantage that it's in a tube and you can, just put it on, whereas the lip whip, you have to like dip your finger into it or a brush or something like that. So in that way, this is easier to use, but I prefer the other formula. Yes, do I reach for it, but I don't think this is a product that you need to run out and purchase. It's good, but not my favorite. My overall thoughts on the brand. I actually am surprised by the products. Like I said, I really like the brow gel. I like the blush. I like the eyeshadow. I like the lash primer. I like the mascara. So out of all the products I tried, the only two I'm just kind of like about are the lip balm and the foundation, which all things considered is pretty good. There are very few brands where I test out that many products and am that positive about so many. And I like so many of these to the point that I actually want to try more from Jane Iredale. Like, I want to go purchase more products, or if they want to send them, that would be awesome too. But I want to try more things because I think they're really good. The con is they are expensive. I think some of the products like the brow gel, the mascara, and the eyelash primer, the price is not as jarring for the product, but things like the blush and the eyeshadow and the foundation, the price is steep. My thought is, if you're willing to pay the price, you're going to get pretty good products. They're gonna work well. I wouldn't say Jane Iredale is a very trendy brand. They're not constantly coming out with new products, but I respect that because so many brands are just coming out with so many products. It's too much too fast. And I'm saying that as someone whose, kind of job it is to keep track of products that are launching in the non-toxic beauty space, and I feel really overwhelmed a lot of times. So I appreciate that they really just work on having, a rather large but a core group of products that just work well, and they're not constantly coming out with new products all the time. If you're curious, I think they're worth checking out. I would skip on the foundation and skip on the lip balm, but I'm really happy with the other products I tried, and they definitely are becoming favorites. You guys are probably gonna see me talking about them in some favorites videos because they're favorites of mine. They're products that, regardless of whether I'm testing or not, I am reaching for, and I am packing with me to take on trips because I really enjoy them and they've become true staples in my routine. So I guess overall I would say I'm quite happy with the brand and really curious to try out some more products because I feel like there are definitely some underrated products in the Jane Iredale line, and it really makes me happy to discover them and share them with you. I should also mention Jane Iredale is carried, they're carried on the Jane Iredale website. Also, they're now carried on the Ulta website, not in stores unfortunately, but they're carried on the Ulta website. Petit Bour is also carrying some of their products as well, of course the ones that are vegan. It is a cruelty-free line. I think Nordstrom may carry their products online, maybe in stores if you have a big Nordstrom. Even Marcus may have some. I'm not sure. Also, there is a physical Jane Iredale store in Great Barrington, Massachusetts. I just discovered this recently, which is kind of annoying because I was actually out in the Berkshires, which is where Great Barrington is, over the summer. And if I had known that, I would have gone to the store, but I didn't know that at the time. But if I go back out there, which I would love to because it was a beautiful place to vacation, I definitely will be stopping out there. So if you guys live in New England and head to the Berkshires, Jane Iredale is headquartered out there and they have a store, so that's kind of cool. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed seeing this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also, let me know in the comments section down below if you tried out any of these products. If you have, which ones are your favorites? Which ones are you curious to try out? If you'd like me to do a part 2 of this video sometime in the near future, probably be like 2020 at this point, but like, in the near-ish future, let me know that in the comment section down below as well. And once again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!